Hey guys, are you showing up as a man in a relationship with your wife or your girlfriend? Do you want to know how to be a man in a relationship? Stay tuned. As a couples therapist, one of the main reasons why I see intimacy shut down in a relationship is because the masculine is showing up weak. In other words, the man isn't showing up as a man. Now, being a man in a relationship might be way different than what you're thinking right now. So I'm going to explain to you what it means to show up as a masculine man in a relationship so you can create intimacy. What makes a woman want a man? Now, all women have different tastes and they want different men. But most women want one thing from their man. And what that is they want a man who trusts himself and understands his purpose. A man who feels secure with himself and confident. That is attractive. That is real masculinity. Real men are always self-reflecting and learning about themselves. So because of that, you're gonna wanna like this video and subscribe to my channel. I wanna ask you some questions. And these questions are designed to get you thinking about what kind of energy are you showing up in your relationship. So my first question is what undermines your confidence? What beliefs do you have about yourself that makes you show up weak? What gets in the way of you trusting yourself? Are you the man that shows up in your relationship as the yes man guy who never has an opinion? If your partner asks you a question, hey, what do you think about this? Where do you want to go to dinner? How do you feel about that? Your opinion is always her opinion. You always try to think like her to avoid conflict in the relationship. That's a man who's not showing up confident. That's a man who's not showing up knowing who he actually is. Are you the guy who can't connect to your partner on an emotional level? You can't empathize with her? And the reason is because it's too uncomfortable. It's too vulnerable. You're tough. You're gonna not go there with her because it's scary. That's weakness. That's showing up as a man who doesn't know who he is. And so you're scared of her emotions and you're scared to hold space for those emotions. Are you the guy who needs your partner to validate you for your self-worth? You consume her in order to feel good enough. You're trying to get from her all of your needs met. That's weakness. Femininity cannot bestow masculinity. You cannot get your self-worth from your partner. Connection is much different than consumption. When you consume her, you're not showing up as a real man. A real man gets his self-worth from God. A real man can speak his truth. A real man can be honest, and a real man can hold space for your partner's pain and for your partner's emotions. That's what a real man can do. That's what real masculinity is. So if you're listening to what I'm saying and you're thinking, I struggle with that, the first thing that you need to do is look deep within. What's underneath all of this saying that you're not good enough? That you can't do these things, it's too uncomfortable. And do your own individual work to love yourself first, to know yourself first, so then you can show up as a man in the relationship. Your woman wants you to get your masculinity from someone other than her. Get your masculinity from God. Understand your purpose and step into your masculinity. And you can create safety, you can create intimacy, and you can create trust in your relationship. I want to tell you a story about a guy named Trevor. Now, Trevor was a guy who never had an opinion in his marriage. He always let his wife call all the shots. She always decided things. And she didn't want to, but she knew that he would always refer to her and ask her for what they should do. Well, behind the scenes, he resented her because he felt like he didn't have a voice. He resented that he wasn't able to speak up and say what he really desired or wanted in the relationship. Can you see the breakdown in masculinity here? The problem is that he's not showing up in that relationship. She didn't trust him because he wasn't being honest with her. He was looking kind. He was looking really nice. All of their friends thought, wow, Trevor's the best guy. He's always so kind and goes along with everything. But he wasn't being kind, and he wasn't being honest, and he wasn't being a man in the relationship. He needs to know who he is, trust himself, so that he can step into that relationship as an authentic person who can create safety and trust. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you want more content, more in-depth content that will help your relationship, then check out my Relationship Reset. You can find it in a link below.